You're listening to K-Squid Community Radio. For the Monterey Bay Area, I'm your host, Rachel Ann Goodman, and it's time for Talk of the Bay, a place where we talk about local issues, and we have a doozy for you tonight. We'll be taking on three big topics. What do young people in high school think about what's happening in the world? We'll talk to two podcasters from an Aptos leadership program first, then a roundup of local election results. Who voted? How many people voted? How did they vote? And what did they vote for or against? All that with Tony Russelmano coming up at the middle of the hour. And then we'll be talking with Supervisor Justin Cummings about new threats to the drilling off the shores of California by the Trump administration. What are local leaders doing to fight back? Find out how you can be part of that. Coming up on Talk of the Bay. Well, the Aptos Community Youth Program is a free youth leadership and arts engagement program offered to students in the Santa Cruz County area. And youth leadership can look like a lot of things. In this case, it involves stories, doing podcasts, and taking on projects that benefit the community, such as school supply drives, volunteering with nonprofits, and working with elders in the community. We have Lucy and Emily here with us to talk to us about the program and also to listen to one of the podcasts they worked on. I'm a big fan of podcasts, as you probably can guess. But welcome to the both of you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Is your first time on the radio?
Yeah.
But not your first time in front of a microphone.
Nope.
Yeah. So tell me about podcasting. What drew you to want to do that? And what were some of the topics you tackled?
I think it was really just us trying to get our voices out there a little more. And I think the topics that we really enjoyed were about environmental stuff and kind of just what we'd think about, what's going on in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was always kind of in the background. I was more editing than talking, but it was really great being able to listen to people my age and my friends and just really hear what other people are thinking, because not a lot of people are talking about that.
You know, it is true that people your age don't have a lot of places where their voices can be heard. There is, YouTube and places like that. I saw a very young kid, 11, doing political commentary today. I'm like, well, okay, go for it. But for radio, for mainstream broadcasts like we are, there aren't too many places. So I'm glad you came by. We have queued up one of your podcasts. Do you want to introduce it? We're going to, we're going to listen to a little of it.
Yeah, it was us and a couple of other students, and I think the main focus was just talking about kind of the world today and how we feel about that and how we feel kind of growing up and becoming adults in today's world, and I don't know.
It can be really confusing, can't it? Yeah. So how many different high school students were interviewed for this?
4. Yeah. It was less interviewing and more just a discussion, I think. Mm-hmm. But there were some questions that...
And it's different than a class where the teacher's prompting you. So you are the one setting the agenda here and putting out the questions. Let's listen to a little of that, and then we'll be right back to talk about how young people can get involved with media and getting their voice out into the community. This is K-Squid.
I'm Natalia, and welcome to Gen Impact, a podcast of the Aptos Community Youth Program made by youth, where we discuss relevant topics impacting the lives of young people today. On today's episode, we continue our Youth in Dialogue series with a conversation with our Gen Impact team on the topic of growing up. Welcome, everybody, to our conversation today. So to start us off, how about we all go around and say our dream college or career? I'm Natalia, and I think my dream career is something in environmental studies or environmental sciences and maybe business.
I'm Zola, and my dream career is to be a teacher.
I'm Gia, and my dream college is UCSC.
I'm Liam, and my dream career would be architectural engineer.
So obviously school is a big part of growing up, and as you grow up, I think school gains more importance in your life and your future and everything that you've worked for, and a big part of that is grades. So how do you guys feel about that and how it impacts your school life?
Yeah, I think grades are definitely a really important part to growing up, at least for me. And I know that a lot of people don't really I think in the younger years, they're just trying to have fun and not really always worrying about grades too much, which is definitely good, not to have your whole world revolve around grades. But I think with going to school, going to colleges, applying for them, it definitely gets more serious, and it's good to worry about them.
I also feel like there's such a pressure, and not to put pressure on grades, but I feel like when I was younger, it was always a B is really good. But now it's if you don't have all A's, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's always been very okay, A's, B's, and C's are passing, and that's good. But then it's you get to high school, and it's you need above a 4.0. If you're going to apply to a college, you want above a 4.0.
And I feel like it also really depends on how you grew up and how your family dynamic was and how they felt about grades. Because growing up, my grandma was pretty she was pretty strict about grades. Not necessarily that she'd be disappointed if I didn't get an A, but I just grew up with the mentality that in the motivation for myself that if I didn't get an A, that was bad. And so I feel now in high school, especially with grades, it's a big thing, just for me, because I feel that's kind of what I've been taught and what I've followed since I was younger.
Yeah, I agree. I think I definitely just grew up with that. No one really told me you have to get all A's, but it's just I think because now I think I used to think if you had all A's, you can go to a really good college, but now it's a lot of people get all A's, and you have to make yourself more competitive. It's not even all about grades, which I think was definitely an eye opener for me, because I was oh, I have to do a lot more than just keep it up and do better.
Pause there and just what an interesting conversation. What an interesting conversation you were having there. And I was going to ask you two, you're in your senior year. You're in the middle of applying for colleges. There's so much pressure. And I teach freshmen college, and they're still stressed out in the fall quarter. I keep telling them, you made it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to stress about grades so much anymore, but they don't believe me. I mean, what you mean? I don't have to do things just to do them so I can prove that I could get in somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was recorded a while ago, so it's so interesting hearing that now when we're in the middle of applying and all those stresses are really coming to the climax of it. Yeah, I think definitely I have been stressing a lot. I mean, you do so many extracurriculars, and all of high school is preparing you for college and trying to get all your grades up and your GPA and taking APs. So it's kind of stressing me out that in a couple months I will have submitted all my applications and I will learn where I got in and where I didn't, and then all of high school for what all my efforts over the years have been will be paid off, I guess.
I mean, one thing it strikes me about the whole process of stressing about getting in and being, competitive and hoping that that's going to make success in your life is that everything you do is about a future goal. You're doing it as a means to an end. Something else is going to reward you later instead of just enjoying your life and I'm doing it because I love it. It feels like students are getting robbed of that ability to just enjoy their lives because they're so future focused. Even playing a sport, is it going to look good? On my application, everything's for that one goal. And it seems to put a lot of pressure and emotional strain on people that may not be necessary,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think for me, for all of high school, my grades aren't really the most important thing to me. I think my extracurriculars are definitely more what I focus on, and I join them, I don't join them because I think it will look good. Most of them I join because I enjoy them and they're something that I really want to do. and I just kind of hope that actually shows in my applications and stuff.
Well, you produced a podcast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, in my book, I would say, yay. What a great thing, because podcasting is becoming such a common form of communication, and it's an easy on-ramp for a lot of people to get involved with getting their voice out there, which you have done. So on this podcast we've been listening to, I'm sure people talked about the stresses and emotional strains of the pressure cooker you're all in. I'm interested, beyond getting into college, are grades also just like a roller coaster where one day you're getting an A and you feel great, and then you get a B and then like not, so great, because now you can see your grade every day. It's like looking at likes on Instagram. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've always kind of pushed myself to be good at academics and get good grades, and I guess I do stress. I've kind of, over the years, I've gotten less stressed about it. I used to pride myself a lot on my academics, but then I got a B, my first B ever, last year, second semester of junior year in AP language, and I think I cried, and I was like, why am I crying? It's like 1B out of 4 years. It was just, I don't know, it kind of opened my eyes, like, why do I care so much about this? Like, it's not gonna, in 5 years, like, will I care about this? So I think that was a point where I just started enjoying myself instead of caring so much about academics and grades and like a letter, instead of like the experience and the knowledge I got from this class.
It's great. It sounds like a great leadership program in Aptos. Are you both Aptos High students?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many of you are in the program?
I'm not sure.
I'd say we have about maybe 10 from the high school.
Yeah, there's a junior high program too, so there's a couple of students in there too.
And do you go out and interview other people in addition to students your age, or you talk to like leaders in the county?
Yeah, we interviewed, I forget the name. It was an environmental leader, and it was a really interesting conversation because I feel like we don't get to talk to a lot of adults aside from the program. I think if I wasn't in the program, I'd have no idea what elected leaders and just people in our community that aren't teenagers are doing. So I think it's a really great way to like get out and be involved in the community.
You've definitely hit the nail on the head. When you're a radio producer or news person or journalist, you have a license to talk to people that you would never get to talk to as a regular citizen. So you figured that one out pretty quick. It sounds like environment is something you care a lot about, and you said, this gets you in touch with problems that you might want to work on. What are some of your big issues that maybe that you feel need to change and that you want to work on as you go forward? Emily, and then we'll talk to Lucy.
I think one of the things we've been focusing on is more like pollution kind of, and we've been looking at like local beaches mainly, and we've done like beach cleanups and stuff like that, and we were working on trying to get more like trash cans in like local beaches to try and fix that problem. So I think that that's just one of our main focuses when it comes to environment right now.
And you're trying to advocate. Do you advocate to the city council, or I guess Aptos doesn't have a city council because it's not a town, but you talk to those supervisors.
Yeah, we've talked to some people about it and just trying to like advertise what we're doing and trying to get more help.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything Emily said. I think it's hard where we live, like by the beach. It's hard to go to the beach and enjoy yourself when there's so much trash around, and even just like at our school and on the sides of the road, it's kind of disheartening, like as someone who's younger, seeing like how other people are treating like the environment and how little they seem to care about something, and it's hard, like when you're younger you feel like you can't do as much, and we do talk to people, but it's hard to like, some people don't take us don't take us as seriously as we are. So
well, they should, because you're the ones having to live a lot longer on this planet than the rest of us, so you have your future to think about. During the time I was growing up, there were a lot of public education campaigns around littering, and we don't hear them as much as we used to, but there was this really emotional one with a Native American guy in a canoe, and he comes into this waterway just full of trash and shows a tear down his face, and it was so effective. It just said, "Keep America clean," or whatever. And we don't really have that anymore, but it seems like from what you're saying, we could use a campaign to just
Yeah,
educate
definitely.
people to not to throw their trash out the window. We also have a lot more disposable items than we used to, like
Yeah, definitely.
McDonald's. We're talking to you. Starbucks.
Yeah.
There are programs, that they've banned individual pieces of garbage, like straws or
Yeah.
plastic
Yeah.
cups or plastic bags, so maybe that'll keep growing.
Yeah.
And what was it like, to talk to an elected official? Was that nerve-wracking or fun, or what was it like?
It was a little scary. We also we took a tour of the defense attorney in office, right?
Yeah. In Santa Cruz.
In Santa Cruz, yeah, and that was really cool. Just getting to talk to people. I think everyone we've talked to treats us like equal. Like we have something to say, and they really listen. At least it feels like, and they're really responsive to our concerns, which is really like encouraging and uplifting. So I think, talking to elected officials definitely, and it's also, obviously we can't vote, so it's hard to like influence.
Soon you will.
Oh yeah.
Only another 6 months or something.
Yeah. But yeah, just over the course of high school, it's been nice to get to know the people that are representing us and knowing that they like hearing what we say.
Do you have any big, role models that you look up to that inspire you to be a leader yourself, that are maybe women leaders in your world, or even people you never met but that keep you wanting to do this work?
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of just all important people in sports and environmental, just all people like that have actually tried to make a difference and have gotten their voices out there. And it's just inspiring to see people that have actually made change, and it makes me want to get out there and do the same.
Yeah.
Any particular names you want to shout out to? Greta Thunberg, perhaps?
Oh, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was pretty young when she started doing these walkouts or sit-ins. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just holding a sign up in front of her high school.
Yeah.
Or junior high.
Yeah.
Now she's continuing. Yeah. Anybody else you think of?
Oh, this is hard. There's just so many people I can't think of a specific one. I think that also the teachers at the high school I feel like I look up to. At least at our high school, I've never had a teacher that I don't really like. They've all been invested in my learning and invested in my potential and seeing me grow. So that's really inspiring, and I look up to them. And yeah.
Young people had a huge impact on this election. They voted in bigger numbers than any midterm election or off-year election, especially in New York City and also in Virginia. They led the way, especially young women. So it won't be long till you can vote and encourage other people your age to vote. I think you have so much more at stake than anyone else, and that's why it's so encouraging to see young people. Not to mention the New York mayor is 34. It's one of the younger people to ever get elected as a mayor of a major city. So it seems like young people are not only voting, but they're running for office. Ever thought of running for office for anything?
It's not something that's been on my mind, but we do ASB stuff at our school, so we're on
what does that stand for?
Associated Student Body. It's the student government. We're ASB secretary and treasurer.
Yeah.
So we
Did
did
you
have to
get
run
elected?
for that.
You
Yeah.
did? Oh, okay, so you had a campaign.
Yeah.
And you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right
we
on.
kind of had some experience in that.
I don't know if I'd take it to
It's definitely
larger-
different in high school then.
Did you have a
Yeah.
super PAC?
No funding.
No big outside interest pouring money into your campaign?
Yeah, I think that's out of my my interest. I think I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of person. I don't think I'd have the guts to run for office.
Well, that's what you say now, but don't ever rule anything out, because you'd be surprised at yourself and what you can accomplish if you believe in yourself. And I'm sure all the people who work their way up, like Nancy Pelosi, who just retired, I don't know that, she woke up one day as a high school student and said, I'm going to be the first female Speaker of the House, to hold that office for that long. So, yeah, don't rule anything out at all. This is a leadership program you're in.
Yeah.
So you never know what leadership's going to look like. It might just be in your own community.
Yeah.
What are some of the other, you mentioned trash cleanup, what other community projects have you been involved with?
Last year we did, we worked with the Live Like Cocoa Foundation.
Tell me more about that. I don't know what that is.
Basically, it's a local nonprofit, and they try to bring reading opportunities to kids that don't have as much. I grew up kind of hearing about it, and they helped a lot when I was in elementary school. And they reached out to us and asked us to do a mural that would go next to a bookmobile that they wanted to put at Watsonville Charter School of the Arts because they didn't have a public library there. And we brainstormed ideas for the mural, and we sketched it out, and we did it on a big shipping container, and it was a very long process. We got rained on and road closures, and it was all muddy, and our paint was running. Yeah, it
Live
was
and learn, though, right?
Oh yeah. But we finished it, and
Yeah,
we're really proud of it.
Yeah, and we got to see pictures of the kids around it afterwards, and it was really fulfilling seeing that.
Yeah, well, you're doing great stuff. So anything in your future that you want to shout out about that before we say goodbye, because time's almost up? Anything that you're looking forward to in this project? You're going to do more podcasts?
I think we've kind of switched away from podcasts. That was a lot of the students that came before. So now we've been really interested in visual media. I think the junior high students did film projects and photography, and we've been into art projects and more community service. So yeah, I think more visual media instead of hearing, but
it's all good. It's all expressing yourselves and using the media to tell your stories and your reality, which people don't get to hear that much. So in the minute we have left, is there anything you'd like to say, each of you, a final closing thought about what you want our listeners, who probably skew to the older side, to know about the reality that you're living as someone who's a senior in high school?
I think just that it's it's kind of stressful for us to see where our future is heading and where the world is heading, and I think it's really important for young people like us to get more involved, because it's us that's going to be living in the future in that reality. So I think just more people to get involved with stuff that we're doing is really important.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes people pass teenagers off as naive, or they don't know how the world works, but a lot of us are really involved in stuff, and even though we can't vote yet, we're very involved and informed, and I think you shouldn't discredit people.
Never would discredit. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come down to the station. I know it's a trafficy time to travel from Aptos, so I appreciate the extra effort, and I hope you keep listening to K-Squid.
Yeah,
thanks
so
for
much. Having us.
Thanks for being here. Emily and Lucy, part of the Aptos Leadership Program. I'm Rachel Ann Goodman. In just a moment, we'll be hearing from Tony Rosamano. He is going to give us an election wrap-up right after we tell you about an upcoming program at 6 o'clock.